call, please.
Mrs. Kuntz? Here. Ms. Snyder?
Here.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Here.
Ms. Anderson?
Here.
Mr. Wright?
Here.
Okay, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. That's a good reminder. Laura had asked me to give her a call, so I will do that so she can listen in. She's
Sweet. I'll make a motion to excuse her. As
I'll
you're calling her.
I'll second.
Okay. What was it?
roll call, please.
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
We're just doing a roll
Mr.
call
Ray?
for you to
Yes.
excuse you. I'll put the
Mrs.
phone
Kuntz?
on. Yep.
What did you ask?
Yes.
Motion to
Yes.
excuse.
Excuse Laura.
I was not
Thank you.
here, I'm
Who's
sorry.
on the phone?
She was just enamored by
Hi,
Miss
Laura.
Okay.
Miss Cochran's voice.
I'm gonna put you on mute now.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, Mrs. Cochran is excused. And next, we're looking for a motion to accept the minutes from November 20th, 2023 council meeting as presented, not read, please.
I'll make a motion to accept minutes from November 20th, 2023 council meeting as presented and not read.
I'll second that.
Thanks, Heather. Take your pick on the second. And roll call, please.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Wright?
Yes.
Mrs. Kuntz?
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Okay. Looking next for a motion to accept purchase orders from November 4th, 2023 to November 17th, 2023, totaling, is that the right number? Wow, yeah, $5,485,914.71 as presented, not read, please, no typo.
I'll make a motion to accept purchase orders from November 4th, 2023 to November 17th, 2023, totaling $5,485,000, excuse me, $5,485,914.71 as presented and not read.
I'll second.
Thanks. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Wright?
Yes.
Mrs. Kuntz?
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Okay, we're looking next for a motion to accept bills from November 4th, 2023 to November 17th, 2023, totaling $75,325.18 as presented, not read, please.
I'll make a motion to accept bills from November 4th, 2023 to November 17th, 2023, totaling $75,325.18 as presented and not read. Why are we reading?
I'll second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Wright?
Yes.
Mrs. Kuntz?
Yes.
Mrs. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Okay, very good. We're moving then into the reading of ordinances and resolutions.
Resolution number 7310-2023. This is a second reading by title only. A resolution approving the mayor to enter into an agreement with Great Lakes Community Action Partnership. Resolution number 7316-2023. A resolution approving the police chief to hire Christina Berry as a grant specialist with the Lakemore Police Department. Now therefore be resolved by the Council of the Village of Lakemore, County of Summit, State of Ohio. Section 1, Council approves to hire Christina Berry as a grant specialist with the Lakemore Police Department. Section 2, Ms. Berry will earn $31 per hour when needed to help write grants for the department. Section 3, it is hereby found and determined that all formal actions of this council concerning and relating to the passage of this resolution were adopted in an open meeting of this council, and that all deliberations of this council or any of its committees that resulted in such formal actions were in meetings open to the public in compliance with all legal requirements, including Section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code. Section 4, this resolution is declared to be an emergency measure in the interest of the health, peace, and safety of the citizens of the Village of Lakemore. Therefore, this resolution should take effect immediately. Resolution number 7317-2023, a resolution authorizing the mayor to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Water and Wastewater Infrastructure Grant Program and to execute contracts as required. Whereas the Village of Lakemore, hereinafter referred to as the Local Government Agency, or LGA, and whereas the Water and Wastewater Infrastructure Grant provides financial assistance to political subdivisions for capital improvements to improve access to clean drinking water and wastewater infrastructure. And whereas the LGA is planning to make capital improvements to the sanitary sewer improvements project Phase 1, whereas the infrastructure improvement herein above described is considered to be a priority need for the community and is a qualified project under the Water and Wastewater Infrastructure Grant Program. And whereas RCAP has the authority to act on behalf of the LGA in preparing and submitting program material, including the application, responses to inquiries, and reimbursement requests. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the Village of Lakemore, County of Summit, State of Ohio. Section 1, Council approves the mayor is hereby authorized to apply to the Ohio Department of Development for funds as described above. Section 2, that the mayor is hereby authorized to enter into any agreements as may be necessary and appropriate for obtaining this financial assistance. Section 3, authorization for RCAP to apply. The LGA authorizes RCAP to act as its agent in preparing and submitting an application to the Ohio Department of Development for the Water and Wastewater Infrastructure Grant Program. RCAP is hereby authorized to submit the grant application on behalf of the LGA through the official project application site located at investinginohiosfuture.ohio.gov and to participate in the grant requirements on behalf of the LGA as necessary. The authorization grant to RCAP remains of full effect until otherwise revoked by the LGA. In the event revocation, RCAP and the Ohio Department of Development must be notified in writing. The LGA acknowledges that this authorization does not constitute a commitment of funds by the state of Ohio for any of its programs, and that RCAP will provide accurate and complete information in the grant application to the best of its knowledge and belief. Section 4, it is hereby found and determined that all formal actions of this council concerning and relating to the passage of this resolution were adopted in an open meeting of this council, and that all deliberations of this council or any of its committees that resulted in such formal actions were in meetings open to the public in compliance with all legal requirements, including Section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code. Section 5, that this legislation is hereby declared to be an emergency measure necessary for the immediate preservation of the public health, peace, and safety, for the immediate construction of the water system improvements at the earliest possible time is necessary in order to protect the health of the residents of the LGA by providing a safe and healthy environment. Wherefore, this resolution shall be in full force and effect from and immediately after its passage. Resolution number 7318-2023, a resolution authorizing the mayor to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Water and Wastewater Infrastructure Grant Program and to execute contracts as required. Whereas the Village of Lakemore, hereinafter referred to as the Local Government Agency or LGA, and whereas the Water and Wastewater Infrastructure Grant provides financial assistance to political subdivisions for capital improvements to improve access to clean drinking water and wastewater infrastructure. And whereas the LGA is planning to make capital improvements to a new water storage tower, whereas the infrastructure improvement here and above described is considered to be a priority need for the community and is a qualified project under the Water and Wastewater Infrastructure Grant Program. And whereas RCAP has the authority to act on behalf of the LGA in preparing and submitting program material, including the application, responses to inquiries, and reimbursement requests. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Council of the Village of Lakemore, County of Summit, State of Ohio. Section 1, Council approves the mayor is hereby authorized to apply to the Ohio Department of Development for funds as described above. Section 2, that the mayor is hereby authorized to enter into any agreements as may be necessary and appropriate for obtaining their financial assistance. Section 3, authorization for RCAP to apply. The LGA authorizes RCAP to act as its agent in preparing and submitting an application to the Ohio Department of Development for the Water and Wastewater Infrastructure Grant Program. RCAP is hereby authorized to submit the grant application on behalf of the LGA through the official project application site located at investinginohiosfuture.ohio.gov and to participate in the grant requirements on behalf of the LGA as necessary. The authorization granted to RCAP remains in full effect until otherwise revoked by the LGA. In the event revocation, RCAP and the Ohio Department of Development must be notified in writing. The LGA acknowledges that this authorization does not constitute a commitment of funds by the state of Ohio for any of its programs, and that RCAP will provide accurate and complete information in the grant application to the best of its knowledge and belief. Section 4, it is hereby found and determined that all formal actions of this council concerning and relating to the passage of this resolution were adopted in an open meeting of this council, and that all the deliberations of this council or any of its committees that resulted in such formal actions were in meetings open to the public in compliance with all legal requirements, including Section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code. Section 5, that this legislation is hereby declared to be an emergency measure necessary for the immediate preservation of the public health, peace, and safety for the immediate construction of the water system improvements at the earliest possible time is necessary in order to protect the health of the residents of the LGA by providing a safe and healthy environment. Wherefore, this resolution shall be in full force and effect from and immediately after its passage. Ordinance number 1832-2023, an ordinance to amend ordinance 1795-2022, make appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the Village of Lakemore, State of Ohio, during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2023. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the Village of Lakemore, County of Summit, State of Ohio. Section 1, Council approves to increase appropriations in Emergency Medical Services 2901, $5,000 for fire salaries. American Rescue Act Fund 2053, $69,668.38 from the Ambulance Transportation Grant and First Responder Retention Incentive Grant. Section 2, Council approves to transfer from General Fund $40,000 to Fire EMS Operating Fund 2904 for salaries. Section 3, Council approves to increase revenue in American Rescue Act Fund 2053, $69,668.38 from the Ambulance Transportation Grant and First Responder Retention Incentive Grant, Fire EMS Operating Fund 2904, $40,000 for salaries. Section 4, Treasury for payments from any of the foregoing appropriations upon receiving proper certificates and vouchers therefore, approved by the board or officers authorized by law to approve the same, or an ordinance or resolution of council to make the expenditures, provided that no warrant shall be drawn or paid for salaries or wages except to persons employed by authority of and in accordance with law or ordinance. It shall be provided further that the appropriations for contingencies can only be expended upon appeal of 2/3 vote of council for items of expense constituting a legal obligation against the village for purposes other than those covered by other specific appropriations herein made. Section 5, this ordinance is hereby declared to be an emergency measure necessary for the immediate preservation of the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of the Village of Lakemore, Ohio. Therefore, this ordinance shall go into effect immediately. There you go.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move into the mayor's report. I have probably quite a bit to talk about this evening, but I wanted to start with a very special thank you to the Army-Navy Club of Lakemore for a very nice Veterans Day ceremony last Saturday at the Memorial Triangle on Veterans Day, November 11th. It was a really nice ceremony, and I want to say thank you to everyone who participated and made it so nice for the community. It's a really nice partnership that we have with them in putting on different events throughout the year. The Memorial Parade and other things, actually. So we really appreciate the Army-Navy Club and all of our veterans. Absolutely, we appreciate everything. And from all of us in Lakemore, we want to say thank you for your service. The second thing on my list is I want to remind everyone that Give Back Tuesdays at Geo's is happening all during November. And tomorrow's Tuesday, so if you're especially hungry, please go to Geo's and spend some money because a portion of all sales will go to benefit the Lakemore Lions Club for Give Back Tuesday. So we want to say thank you, Geo's, and similarly thank you, Lions Club, for all the community work that you do. 3, there's a bourbon tasting fundraiser happening on December 30th, and that's at the Springfield Senior Center, former Senior Center, or Center on the Lake now, it's called, yeah. And that's to benefit Rock the Docks, and it's New Year's Eve. And if you would like tickets, please see Laura Cochran, Tracy, or myself, or visit Eventbrite. Again, that's New Year's Eve. It's a bourbon tasting, bourbon pairing at the Center on the Lake, and that proceeds from that fundraiser will benefit Rock the Docks, or the Springfield Lakemore Festival Committee, as the 501c3 is actually known as. Let's see. I want to say thank you to everyone who recycles their paper and cardboard at the lower lot of Lakemore United Methodist Church. I want to remind everyone that our Lakemore Food Pantry receives the proceeds from those recycling efforts. And Trace and I have been directing that program for several years now, and we very much appreciate any donation. And if it's the donation of paper and cardboard, we especially like that because, again, we get the proceeds from those recycling efforts. So especially with Christmas coming up, remember us. Schlep all your cardboard paper and wrapping paper and stuff to the lower lot of Lakemore United Methodist Church if you're able. Last thing I have to announce, I believe, I'll see what council touches on, but I do want to announce that I'll be distributing beautification awards for the summer to the village residents and homes. They're mayor's awards. Again, this isn't, it's just something small that I like to do as a token of appreciation to residents for making Lakemore beautiful. It's not anything that comes out of Lakemore's coffers. It comes out of mine. So I don't want people to think that I'm spending money, unnecessarily on prizes for homeowners and such. But I do, and I've done it for Christmas for several years now. And I want to remind everyone that I'll be doing that again this year. Probably 20 awards will be going out for Christmas decorating. So get those lights up, and it's one of the best things that I do. My wife and I, we tool around Lakemore and look at all the lights.
Halloween. We should do a Halloween one.
Yeah,
there's some really good ones.
If there
in Lakemore.
wasn't an election this year, I would have done Halloween.
Next year,
but
I'll
yeah,
remind
next
you.
year
Let's
it
do
won't be
it.
so hectic and chaotic. But beautification awards will be going out this week. Good God. And that's what I have for now. I'll let council talk. Mrs. Cochran's on the phone. I probably should pass her, right?
I mean, unless she has anything really important she wants to say.
What do you think? Do you have anything to announce, Laura, or are you just listening?
Well, the only thing that I would like to announce is that we are going to be doing Fill a Cruiser. And the Fill a Cruiser will be on, and I don't have the date in front of me, but it is Friday after Thanksgiving from 9 to 5, and again, Saturday from 9 to 5, and that will be up at the Dollar General at the corner of Kent Road and Sanitarium. And we hope people come out. We also will take cash donations, and that will stay in Lakemore to help with the children that we take to shop with the cop. And anything that you go into the store and purchase toys or food-wise will go to Springfield Cares, which is also another wonderful program that will help those in our community that need some extra help at Christmas time. So I urge you to stop and fill up those cruisers. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laura.
Yeah, thanks, Laura.
You want me to go?
Yeah, Nikki, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm just going to talk about our event that's coming up. I'm really excited. So normally we have a tree lighting down at the municipal building, but due to construction and lack of places to keep kids warm and restrooms, we decided to move the location to the Lakemore United Methodist Church, which is very important that everyone knows that because it's always been down there, and we got to kind of get everyone to come up to the church. So we're going to have Santa, horse carriage rides, which has just become one of everyone's favorite traditions in Lakemore. We'll have cookies and hopefully some crafts, and it should be a great time. It's going to be on November 25th from 5 to 7 at Lakemore United Methodist Church. And if you need the address, it is on our page. We've been posting it everywhere on Facebook. So please come down and see us, have some hot cocoa, and just have a fun time riding through Lakemore. I hope it snows. Remember the year it snowed?
Yeah,
it was perfect.
that was nice.
It was perfect. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Anything else about the event that I'm forgetting?
Some neat crafts. I mean, you had a good idea. I know you had a good idea.
There's been lots of ideas.
Yes.
We'll have to talk after.
Yeah,
catch
for
up.
sure. Absolutely.
I think that's it. I
Thanks.
hope everyone comes. It's
Thanks,
going to be a
Nikki.
great time. I can't wait.
Yeah, that sounds exciting, and I'd just like to make an announcement from Spectrum Community Channel 1023. Springfield and Lakemore Community Channel 1023 is proud to serve our communities by providing access to local government meetings and programming and information of community events. Tune in to Spectrum Channel 1023 for recent programming, and the current schedule will be on the channel or online at springfieldtownship.us or the Facebook page. And community members can access all current and past programming on demand via the new YouTube channel. It's fairly new still, and you can find it by searching Springfield Lakemore Community Channel. More community information is available on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, and their blog. So if you know of any events or activities in the Lakemore Springfield area you would like to see on the channel, please contact your government officials and they'll pass the word along. And currently running on the channel is Portage Lakes Board of Education and Career Center, Portage Lakes Career Center Board of Education meeting, the Spartan Trail Community meeting, the Springfield Trustees meeting, a Village of Lakemore council meeting, and also the Village of Lakemore Halloween party is on there. So,
Nice.
yes, thank you.
Well, hopefully we'll
1023.
see the guys at our event. I don't know.
Nice.
We'll see.
Thanks. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Mr.
Okay,
Schumer.
I'd just like to announce the next council meeting will be December 4th and December 18th, each of those at 7 p.m. right here at the high school. Our next council workshops will be November 28th and December 13th, each of those at 6 p.m. But the November 28th workshop will be held here at the community room at the high school. We have somebody coming in and speaking, so. And other than that, it's all you.
Thanks, John. Heather?
Alrighty. I would like to thank everyone that came out and voted in the election. It was a wonderful, wonderful turnout. Great to see everybody that came out and had a voice in our democracy. It's always wonderful to see that happen. And I would especially like to thank everybody that voted for me to stay on council. It was a privilege to serve the last 4 years, and it will be an honor to continue to serve the Village of Lakemore residents. And I will do my best to make the hard decisions. And so it's a lot harder than people think to make some of these decisions. But it's been a pleasure to serve and get to know a lot of people. And I just thank you for having faith in me to extend another 4 years to me. So I greatly appreciate that. The other thing, I would like to extend a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thank you to Duma Meats. Spartan Snack Pack is giving out holiday baskets in addition to the normal backpack meals that we send out. So we've had about 30 to 32 families that the school has sent to us. So we will have a distribution for those families. And Maranatha, I contacted them to see if they could provide like some kind of meat or turkey or something. And they contacted Duma's Meats and they were going to pay for them. And Duma Meats said, nope, don't worry about it. We would love to donate it. So we had them donate turkeys to the families. And we also had one of our families does not have a way to be able to make their holiday meal. So I was able to go to Denny's and get them to donate a holiday meal that we can give to them so that they can, just warm it up and so they would have a holiday meal as well. So some wonderful businesses in the area and wonderful, organizations that have stepped up to be able to provide this for our kids and our families and things like that. So with that, I pass.
Cool. Congratulations, Mr. Hofer, as well.
Yes.
Your,
Yes.
another term.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I just wanted to piggyback. Thank everybody for coming out and voting for sure. Thank you to the high school as we transition. We had our first workshop in the new building, so I'm really excited to be in there. But in the meantime, I wanted to thank the high school for facilitating this and the church for doing the same.
It's been nice to have this in the church.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I just want to wish my thoughts or our thoughts with Miss Cochran tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Prayers for you, Laura.
and a speedy recovery.
Speedy recovery, indeed.
I did forget one thing.
Thanks.
I did want to extend our condolences to the family and friends of Raymond Cutts. He was another one of the people that was running for the village of Lakemore, and he unfortunately passed away. So, you know, it was a hard-fought campaign on his part and our part, and no ill will towards anybody, differences aside or whatever. It's very sad when, you know, someone, you know, leaves us sooner than what they should. So I would sincerely like to extend the condolences
That's nice.
to his family and friends.
Yes, me also. That's awful. I mean,
Yeah,
it's so tragic. So,
Yeah.
and also Duma Meads.
Bravo.
That's
They're-
awesome.
they're
That's really
wonderful.
awesome, Heather,
They
that you
give
guys
back
were
a
able
lot.
to do that. That makes
Yes.
me so happy. That makes such a difference.
It does.
It really does.
It
I was just at Giant Eagle and I seen a turkey for $59. I don't know what the turkey was, but that's unbelievable to me.
Yeah.
It
So
was dead.
everything
Injected
helps.
with gold.
We,
I
no,
just-
we
It was
we
dead.
had 5 turkeys
prices
donated to
are
the
up.
church. They were $100 each.
Oh,
Somebody
so
did-
that was a cheap turkey?
That was compared to the $99, $102 turkeys that were donated.
Those must be like organic, like grass-fed,
They're only
like,
fed caviar and private jets.
yeah,
That's all.
something. Because
Someone-
all the other ones are like 69 cents a pound. So those
Yeah,
are.
I don't know. Giant Eagle was, I was like, are you
My,
kidding?
we went shopping for the food pantry today, my sister and I, and those 69 cents, 59 cents are sold out everywhere. We spent
Oh,
yeah.
all
Wow.
day
Bet.
running around Brimfield, Akron, Lakemore.
Well, maybe try. I doubt they're, you know, that low at Dumas. But if you need a turkey, try them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Well,
if
that
we
was
if
really
we
kind
haven't
of
wiped
them.
them out.
Yeah.
So-
So awesome of them.
Yes,
So, some
absolutely.
good news there.
I'm gonna, if everyone's finished, I'm gonna take one more minute. We had a celebration this summer, this fall, I'll say, and we celebrated some milestones here at Lakemore. And I don't know that we've ever announced it here, but I do want to make special note, and I hope it makes it into the paper. I'm not sure that it will, but we had special awards for our employees. Kevin Atkinson from the fire department got a 20-year award. Jack Behringer received 40 years award.
Good old Jack.
Yeah, for zoning, the zoning department. Joe Dees received a 10-year award. He's been here 12, but we gave him a 10-year pin. Gwen Erskine, 15 years. She's been here 16, but she received a 15-year pin. Tracy, 30 years.
Oh,
30 years at Lakemore.
can you do
And-
30 more?
Chief Reinbold is one shy of his 15 years, so he received his 10-year pin. He's actually been here 14 years, Chief Reinbold.
4 years later.
Chief Smith was 1 year shy of his 30th. We gave him a 25-year pin. He's been here 29 years, Chief Roy Smith. Gene Taylor, 2 years shy of 50 years. I'm 50 years old. He's 2 years shy of 50 years being employed continuously by the Village of Lakemore. He's been here 48 years. He got a 45-year pin.
He actually laid the pipe. It's crazy.
Right? And Dawson Wise, 25, and he got his 25-year pin. So those are some serious milestones, and we're very thankful for the longevity and everyone's dedicated service to keeping Lakemore, moving forward, onward, and upward, and doing the right thing for the right reason. So thank you. 30
Yeah.
years. Thank you to all of our employees.
50 years.
2 years, I think, for you.
Wait a minute, how long have I been here? Do I get a pin?
Also,
1 year?
one more congratulations.
Yeah.
Mayor Cole for re-election.
Yes, let's talk about Richard.
I was so thankful.
I
Yeah,
mean,
thankful, yeah.
are you ready to do another 4 years of great
Amen.
service? He's in now.
Let's keep it
Let's
going.
keep doing it.
We're doing
Let's
some
keep
good
going.
things.
We got a good group here.
We
really do.
The best.
And I must say, with the wonderful turnout that we had for the village, Mayor Cole had the highest amount of votes in the history of all of Lakemore.
That's
Of course
true.
he did.
I was happy.
So-
It does not surprise me at all.
Yeah.
It does not,
Because
so.
he's one of those guys that
No,
practices
gosh,
what he
stop.
preaches, you know? Like when he
Absolutely.
says he's going to show up, he shows up, and then he shows up 5 more times. You
He
know?
might be a little late.
A little late.
time,
Seven
but he'll
different
be
places
there.
at once.
Yes.
We appreciate you
Thank
so
you.
much, Richard.
Thank
I
you.
don't even
I
know
appreciate
what,
you. Thank you.
I couldn't do this job without you.
And we
I'll
appreciate
tell you
the
that,
village.
so.
The
love
village
you, Fred.
people, amen.
Anything to say?
Village
Amen.
people.
Yeah.
Most days
Can
we
I
appreciate you.
explain a few of these things?
Yes,
Sure.
please.
Okay,
Yep.
so the RCAP agreement that's just renewing another year, that'll be voted on the next meeting. They're an agency funded through grants and stuff from the Ohio EPA. They help us in so many ways with our infrastructure, our water and sewer and storm sewer. They're the ones who've been doing the camera work to video our sewer lines. They did a program where they helped locate all the water lines, hydrant, shut-off valves, all this real elaborate GIS system. They've been helping fill out and submit nomination requests and the grants and loans and stuff that we've been doing. So that's just allowing them to continue. But then they apply for the Ohio Water and Wastewater Infrastructure Grant. So that's a new grant that, another round of grant money that the state's providing. And I didn't even know it had been released yet. And Matt from RCAP, he's like, okay, they just come out with all this money, and I think that we should try for the water tower, even though the loan's been approved. If we can get grant money, that's better, you know. And I agree. So I asked our engineer, and he said, well, I think we should go for the sewer phase 1. And Matt said, well, we'll just do both.
There you
I
go.
said, okay.
Let's try.
Can't hurt.
All you can do
So,
is say no.
yep, so we're going to try for both. So
God help us.
Oh, that would be.
that'll be awesome. And our engineer has also been working very hard. He's finished up the study for the sanitary sewer system and got that submitted to the EPA. So we've stayed on track with that. The phase 1, we're going to be probably in the spring be ready to put that out to bid. And that's some of our main streets in the older section of the village, around the sewer pump house, and just areas that we saw immediately had cracks and stuff that was allowing stormwater and groundwater to infiltrate the system. We just had our bid opening for 6th, 7th, and Frank Streets, and that'll be new water lines, repairing sanitary sewer lines on 2, replacing a sanitary sewer line on 7th Street, and then new roadways.
Awesome.
So that's exciting.
That is exciting.
So we're working really well with, I just had a meeting today with a resident from Springfield Township. She's kind of helped heading up the Stormwater Springfield Lake Committee. We met with a member from Summit Soil, who's going to be our stormwater coordinator, working on a stormwater overlay that would create stricter guidelines for new development, redevelopment, that kind of thing, for Lakemore, Springfield, and then an area of the city of Akron where their stormwater comes to Springfield Lake. So we've got a lot of good things going on now.
So
Thank
great.
God.
Yeah.
And to piggyback off that, a lot of people think that, oh, well, they know that there's infiltration, why don't they just fix it? Yeah. The wheels of justice turn slowly, and the wheels of government turn even slower.
Right.
Things do not go just, okay, let's fix them. studies need to be done. They need to be submitted to engineers. The engineers have to look over, any reports. Then they have to submit their reports and what their findings were. And then it has to go to EPA, and it has to, be approved by EPA. Then the EPA, sends it back to the village and says, this is what you can do, this is what you can't do. And then we have to look at the funding and apply for grants and things like that. So we're kind of coming into where, the engineers have sent it back, and it's been submitted to the EPA, and we're applying for grants, and things are moving along. So, but a lot of people think for the last 2 years, 3 years, we've just been sitting here doing nothing. But it's like, when you throw COVID in on top of it, and people weren't in their offices, and work orders sit on someone's desk for a year because you're not even in their office for a year, and things like that. So for the first 2 years, not us. That was not us. So a lot of these things, just it takes time, and people don't understand. And I'm guilty of that. I didn't understand, before I got on council, like how things truly worked and all that. And it's like, now that I'm on this side, it's kind of like, there's a lot that goes into these
like,
things.
hurry up and wait.
Absolutely.
Because you
Hurry up and
do
wait
all the
for
work,
everything.
and then you gotta wait to see who's gonna say
Absolutely.
yes, yes, yes,
Right.
yes.
Yes.
It is. You don't understand until you're behind the. You know what I mean? It's just
Yes, and a lot of these things are, like earlier I had said about hard decisions, because it's like, so do we, we have X amount of dollars. Do we spend it on this? Do we spend it on that? This needs to be taken care of. But now we have this that has come up that, we need to take care of, and this affects the residents more, but this also affects them. So a lot of the decisions that come in, is hard decisions that affect the residents' lives on a day-to-day basis. So, in doing this job, you don't see, how hard it is for us to sometimes make these decisions in how it affects people. But we want to let people know that we are, like, getting things done. It just takes time. And even though people, continually say, all we're told is it takes time, because it does. Like, that's just plain and simple. It does take time, because it's not just us going, let's do this. You have EPA, Summit Soil, you have RCAP, you have the engineers, you have, all these different government agencies and all these places that are, that have the grants and stuff. So it's not just an overnight thing. And it's like, I want people to understand that we are truly trying. We are,
And this stuff is kind of hard to understand. If you're on the other side of it and you're just listening to Tracy read this stuff, it's not something that everyone's going to be like, oh, I totally understand everything she just said. Half the time I'm like, what? But
Yeah.
it is. I mean, it's.
Right, and we have a better understanding because we have the workshops, and we have, emails, and we have all this stuff that kind of explain things and all that. But it's like, for people to sit and say, well, I'm tired of excuses. They're not excuses. It is what it is,
Yeah.
So, and even for people to say, well, you've spent $5 million, you got a loan, why can't you use that to fix the sewer? Because that was a loan from the USDA, and their stipulations, when you get a loan from the USDA, it can only be spent on buildings and real estate and things like that, it's not we can't use that for this.
And we weren't done with the studies.
Yeah,
We got
and
the funding.
absolutely. So, so for people to say, well, you're spending money on this, but you're not spending money on that, it's like, but we can't spend from here to here. So, but with that, I'm off my soapbox. So, trying to get people to
Something else
think.
people need to understand too is that we don't have a never-ending coffers.
Absolutely.
And to use a term a lot of people use to us, we are operating on a fixed budget.
Yeah.
We all do.
We you always hear we got a fixed income. Well, we have a fixed income.
Like we're. Yeah.
We can only spend what the tax dollars bring in, and if we have, a business or two that shut down or close up shop or whatever, then that's less money that we get, because majority of the income comes from, employment taxes and stuff. So, luckily, we've had more businesses come in and things like that. So, I mean, it's, we've been able to add to it. But, we are told every year from, from the income tax, from Kristen Scalise's office, this is your budget. This is what you get. This is all you get. And we can't
Make
go
it
out.
work.
Absolutely.
For everything.
Can't work overtime.
Yeah, and we can't use the budget. We can't go get more money anywhere else. So
these grants
that's
are
why we
very
have to go
important.
through the grants and
Yeah.
things like that. So,
Fingers crossed, because that would be a super game
Yep.
changer for our village, and it would just make
Yeah.
everyone's life,
yeah,
Please,
absolutely.
grants.
Yeah,
Right?
Grant gods, please.
yes,
We need your
Right.
help.
yes.
Okay, we should probably get a
Yeah,
move on here. We got
appear-
the chat in here.
Appearing before council.
Anybody?
Yes, we have two gentlemen this evening. First, school board member-elect, Dave Hofer, current school board member and member-elect. Congratulations again.
Yes.
We're always happy to see you in Lakemore, Dave, at our meetings and events and everything. So, yep, the floor is yours.
Thank you.
Name and address.
Dave Hofer, 2099 Cremroy. Wasn't too long ago, before I pitched my re-election campaign before you and the village via TV. I just want to thank you and for people that voted for me for re-election. I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now the hard work begins, as you all know. Congratulations, Heather, Rich, and then Ed Eichner for election to council. So that's the reason I'm here tonight, is just to say thank you for re-electing me for another term. So, thanks.
Well,
And have a
thank
great
you.
Thanksgiving.
Have a great day.
Thank you, Dave, for
Thank
coming.
you. God bless
Thank
you,
you.
buddy. Thank you. John, the podium's yours. Would you please state your name and,
Is it protocol that I?
That way they can hear you.
yeah, please, I'm sorry.
There's a mic there. so we
Name and
can hear you.
address and the reason for your
Okay.
speaking this evening. Thank you.
John Jurgen, 1177 Hanover Drive in Brittany Meadows. I'm very recent, moved here from Suffield Township. Lived there for 47 years, 10 years before that in the village of Mogador. And, the first thing I noticed was I'm used to villages within counties instead of villages within townships, within counties. Is that, how is it structured? Springfield is a geographical entity and a political entity, and then the village of Lakemore is a
It's a little bubble.
political entity within the township,
Municipality?
and also a geographical area. Is it a separate geographical area? So it's not part of Springfield Township,
No.
it's surrounded by Springfield.
Correct.
Okay, got it, thank you. And what I wanted to really know was, emergency services, you call Lakemore PD, you call Lakemore Fire, not Springfield.
Correct.
They never respond then.
No, they might for mutual
Okay,
aid.
yes.
We work
Mutual
together,
aid.
so
Okay.
sometimes they cover our calls, sometimes we cover theirs,
Got it.
depending. So
Okay.
they might show up,
But you call the dispatch number and
and you'll,
who's free
yep.
and who's running and whatnot, okay. The 47 years I spent in Suffield, I was active in the community and the government, the trustees. I was the chairman of the zoning commission in the township. I was a founding member of the Tax Incentive Review Council, partnering with the county, Portage, to attract businesses to the township and, with tax incentive, tax abatement, upon promise of, we're gonna spend this much money on facilities, we're gonna add this many jobs, or, some metric that then the county tracks, is able to track and feed to us, and then we will review that and either extend that tax incentive for another year or not. It's never been not, because they've always made good on their promises, the businesses that we have. I've already reached out to Chief Reinbold. I was a big supporter of our fire department, Chief Rasnick, and one thing I did for him was a levy come up, fire levy. So I said, Chief, you've got a levy committee? Well, yeah, the firefighter association and myself, or, the committee. I said, that's nice. You're going to spend some money and put some yard signs up? Well, sure. Well, if you do that, then you're going to have a political action committee with the Board of Elections. What? We don't have that, And I said, and you're going to have a treasurer, and you're going to have to file campaign finance reports, as all you elected officials know, And it's just kind of the same thing. If you're on the ballot, either an issue or a candidate, you have to go through this process. So he's looking at me like, thanks a lot, And I said, no, I'm not giving you a problem. I will be your treasurer. I will be and speak to your levy committee and how we're going to do this. I will file all the campaign finance reports, and I will do the paperwork with the county. So I did that for him and helped him out. And, I've always contributed food to the firefighters and EMS. You can't, just walk in there with a $100 bill and say, I'd like to make a direct cash contribution. That's kind of sticky, And so, but, a box of canned goods goes a long way in the kitchen. So, I try to help out that way, any way I can. And so I hope to not only become, a member of the community, but a productive member of the community any way I can and help.
My heart right now. My heart, sir. I'm so happy.
That's very sweet.
Welcome.
Yes.
So, anyway, I just, wanted to introduce myself and add those things to you. And thank you very much for
So nice
Thank
to meet
you. Welcome to Lakemore.
We're
Welcome to
so
Lakemore.
lucky to have you. It sounds like a great asset to our community. Thank you so much for telling us all that. We'll
And
have to
offering your
to talk soon. Farmer Boy date, I think.
Right?
Farmer Boy, let's meet up.
Well, we do have a levy coming up,
We do.
Yes.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah.
fire safety forces.
So,
Okay.
Awesome.
Old business, do we have anything? No. Mm-mm. New business, Mr. Strittmatter with 2, Miss Anderson, and then Mr. Ray. So go ahead, sir.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to adopt Resolution 7317-2023, a resolution authorizing the mayor to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Water and Wastewater Infrastructure Grant Program and to execute contracts as required. But first, I'd like to make a motion to dispense with the 3 reads.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Coons?
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes,
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Have a second on the original.
second the original.
Thank you. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes,
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Mrs. Coons?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to adopt Resolution 7318-2023, a resolution authorizing the mayor to prepare and submit an application to the participation of the Ohio Water and Wastewater Infrastructure Grant Program and to execute the contract as required. And this one is for the water tower.
I'll
But
second.
first, I'd like to make
Oh.
a motion to dispense with the 3 reads.
I will second that.
Thank you both. Any discussion?
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Amen. Roll call, please.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes,
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Mrs. Coons?
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
I'll second the original.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes,
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Mrs. Coons?
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Heather?
all right. I would like to make a motion to adopt ordinance 1832-2023, an ordinance to amend ordinance 1795-2022, make appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the Village of Lakemore, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2023. But first, I would like to make a motion to dispense with the 3 reads.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Mrs. Coons?
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes,
Second the original.
Thank you. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Coons?
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
yes,
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Ray.
All right. I would like to make a motion to adopt Resolution 7316-2023, This is a resolution that approves the police chief to hire Christina Berry as a grant specialist with the Lakemore Police Department. But first, I would like to make a motion to dispense with the 3 reads.
I'll second.
All right.
Thank you. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Mrs. Coons?
Yes. And I'll second
The original?
yeah. I'll do it again.
Cool.
Any
Sorry,
discussion?
I'm on one today.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Mrs. Coons?
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any reason to go into executive session this evening? Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn?
No.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
I will
Thanks, Sam.
second.
Thank you, Heather. Roll call, please.
All right. Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Mrs. Coons?
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Yes.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, we're praying for you,
Yes.
Laura. Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Speedy recovery.